Wow. Oh my lord. Okay, we're gonna back away. Hello everyone, Thane here, and we're back with another episode of FoolCraft. So a few things have changed off camera. Basically I had a whole lot of footage left over from the last recording session that I ended up just cutting out because it wasn't really needed. But you may have spotted this in the background. When we've got these spawners running, we're burning through quite a bit of power. And so I wanted to increase our power gen. See, right now it's even draining a bit. The way things work right now, we do have all those furnace generators down at Bedrock. And that's sending power through these power cells. One of them here and one by the capacitor bank. And so it's kind of dividing between the two. And so I want to change that and use a dimensional transceiver instead. But I don't think it really matters. I mean, this does up to 30,000. I think what we really need to do is just improve our power gen situation. But yeah, I went through a few things. First off, I went back to the end and took out the dragon a few times. And I set up these dragon mills, or dragon egg mills. And I got 4 of these going, so as you see, 2,000 grid power. And we're actually using quite a bit, so I may have to get more of those. But the main reason for that was I wanted to upgrade these furnace generators. And so each one of these has a speed upgrade. And that increases the power gen significantly. You get 840 RF per tick instead of the usual 40. But as you see, there's typically only about, I don't know, 8 or 10 of these furnaces going at once. And so it's not really giving us any extra power. It's just kind of splitting it between them as it, the round robin fills these up. And so one of the things I wanted to improve was here, can I use the elevator, please? Was the Inferium production. We got plenty of coal essence, and it's just waiting on the Inferium. So I set up this farm over here. We got 2 layers going. Each one has a tier 2 growth crystal underneath each of these glowstone. I think those crystals don't give off light because I wasn't getting any growth when it was dark. So the glowstone helped. But yeah, this is a 15 by 15, and that's with the octadic capacitor in those. And so that can do quite a bit at once, but of course it doesn't support HermitCraft. And so you're only getting 1 essence per plant instead of 4, as we were before. So I'm probably going to add more layers to this. But I'm not too sure. The problem is, when I logged in, we had some severe issues. See, right now it's not too bad. Ticks per second about 43. When I logged in, it was over 1,500. And you could do nothing. I had to restart the server. Basically, what happened was those farms actually give you seeds as well, instead of just the Inferium. And so I had to set up a trash can here to pull those out. So it should be okay now. But yeah, those clogged up and we lost all our power. Yeah, it was a huge mess. So I'd like to get some other power options and things that kind of have a buffer so that we hopefully won't run into situations like that. These furnace generators are pretty decent, especially using the Inferium coal. But I'd like to add some other kind of generators as well. So I did run this cable down here from the refined storage. Big long derpy cable. And I got the wireless here so I can actually access the system. And I think I'm going to try and set up some different types of power gen. And I set up auto crafting for a lot of these, like we got the death generator. I think you can do rotten flesh in those. And since we've got that mob farm, it might be nice just to get a little bit of that power back. We got ender generators if we want to use ender pearls. Heated redstone generator. I have not used this one before, but I have used this one. Explosive generator. Now this runs on gunpowder, I believe, and maybe even TNT. And I'd like to try and set some of these up. Now the problem with these is they're extremely loud. And so you don't want to put these right next to where you're going to be all the time. But you know, down here on bedrock, I think it'll be okay. So I'm going to set up a test with one of these and see just how loud it is. Also, the other thing is it actually explodes. And it'll damage you, but I don't think it's bad. And I don't think it damages any stuff around. So we're going to try that. I need to get more cable. Yeah, I got a little bit. Now I'm going to try and set up an exporter from the system and just pump some gunpowder into there. Yeah, sorry, I'm sure this video quality is terrible with all this bedrock here. Yeah. Just turn that down a little bit. Set that one. And I want to switch this to redstone on, so it's not running. And we'll just get a switch for it. But yeah, it was weird, the tick rate issue that I had. I don't think it was even related to the stuff being backed up. I think it was because I had stuff auto-crafting in the refined storage and the power kept ticking on and off. And that just really killed the server. And so that's why there is a lever on the front of the controller. So I kind of had to switch it off for a while. Yeah, there we go. Look at it go now. And this should help us have a bit of a buffer. So if the power does get low enough that the system turns off, at least we'll still be generating enough to hopefully keep it on long enough to address the issue. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of gunpowder. And if we're going to use gunpowder for power, we may want to add creepers to our spawner as well. Wonder how much do we have in here? Over 27,000. Ticking down now, but yeah, that's quite a bit. That's with 20,000 almost in here already. So yeah. I think we could probably get away with a few more generators, but we'll see if it can keep up, because I'm going to add speed upgrades in all of these. And I'm actually not sure how much power it generates when it's fully upgraded. So I'll have to take a look at that. Wow. Oh my lord. Okay, we're gonna back away and take a look at the power. 19,000. Not too bad. And keep in mind that's splitting it with the Draconic core. That is insane. I don't know if I could put up with that. Yeah, we might need to look into something else. Yeah, it's all confusing. But really, all I care is that that number is green. If it's green, it's good. If it stays green, it's good. Problem is, we're going to run out of gunpowder, too. So it's only a temporary solution. As you see, this is not good, having it that low. And I think our server is lagging a little bit. 86 milliseconds. That's not good. That is not good. It's probably all these explosions. So yeah, these generators are great, but when you try to do extreme stuff with them, you know, I think all it really does is hurt the server. So I went ahead and set up something here. You know, I got this machine infuser from RF Tools, and you need the dimensional shards to infuse things. And I set it up so that it was exporting these from the system, but I wasn't auto-crafting them automatically. So I had to manually craft them. So I went ahead and set this up here. I put the pattern of the dimensional shards in here, and this detector, so if we get less than 2 stacks, it's going to tell it to automatically craft more. And that'll make sure that these always have a stack. So I was looking at this death generator, and there's 4 different things that you can use in this. Of course, you could do the rotten flesh, but that's only 20 RF per tick. But if you use bone, that gives you 40 RF per tick. And I may take advantage of that. Also, the wither skeleton skulls give you 150. So these 2 things we could export from our other spawner system. But I think for now what we could do is get free bone by taking advantage of the resturbed spawner that we have. And I could set up something down here for that and just have it collect nothing but the bones and pipe them into these. And I think that would actually work pretty well, because these do pump out a lot of skeletons, and it doesn't take RF to run it. So I'm going to try and set that up next. So yeah, also realized how much of a fool I am. You know, I went through setting up this whole redstone contraption for creating concrete. I literally only needed a single block of water. Oh, I was using a dispenser with a bucket and all kinds of crap. Yeah. Well, this is a little easier. The Spectre of Death will arrive in 40 seconds. I guess these have a unexpected side effect. That I was not aware of. I guess I can show you the progress here. I set up the spawner. I'll turn on the night vision. And I put a screen on the front here just to turn it on and off. Just below the ender chest there, those are all conduit facades. I got a vacuum chest right there that's painted so you can't even see it. What was that? Really? Okay, yeah, screw extra utilities. I'm not using that ever again. Now I get to run home. So yeah, I definitely did not expect that. Yeah, I'm a little upset because I just wasted a whole lot of time setting that up. If it's just going to kill you randomly, even if you turn the machines off, there's really no point in even trying to use that. So I'm going to go ahead and I guess I'll tear this whole thing down. Yeah, the problem is I'm running out of ideas for generating power, and this mod pack is really lacking in that department. Yeah, it's a pretty silly mod pack, but as far as mod packs go, it's missing a lot. Leaves a lot to be desired if you're actually trying to do stuff. So I went ahead and switched this over. You know, I was doing inferium coal, but I decided to just have it do blocks of coal instead. Since this thing was completely full, you know, it's gonna chew through that pretty quickly, but I figure blocks of coal is better than nothing. And it can definitely craft that a lot faster. And so what I'm going to do is, instead of trying to do the whole Inferium thing, I have the bottom plot that's going to still do Inferium essence, and that's going to go straight into the system. And the rest is going to grow coal. So yeah, not sure how much it's doing, but we got the 20 speed upgrade, so it's chewing through at decent speed, but even so, they are all full. And on top of that, the chest is full. So yeah, we got a decent backlog of fuel, and I think that's going to work pretty well. Oh, that's pretty cool. Alright, so I got over the bitterness of the death from these death generators, and I decided to take another go at it. And I found out basically if you're within a couple of blocks of these while they're running, it gives you a negative buff, and you cannot get out of it unless you drink milk. So yeah, that's a thing. So I've set up this thing down here on the bedrock level. Got 8 of these generators. The right ones are going to be for wither skeleton skulls. Left ones will be bone blocks. And I got those all connected up down here. The right side has its own ender chest, and same on that side. The power will pump into a dimensional transceiver. Haven't done any speed upgrades yet. We'll see if we need to. Our power's currently full, so we're doing alright. Yeah, I got these set up this way so that, you know, when this light is on, you do not approach those. Look at that, it's pretty crazy. Now these lamps that I put on top, I was gonna try to basically measure how many items were inside. So if one of them runs out of fuel, the light would turn off. But apparently these do not give out a comparator signal. So I'm not really sure how to do that. And I kind of based the design around that. I don't really want just a tiny machine right there. Needs something. So I know RF Tools has some sort of block that can measure machine things. I don't remember which one it was, and I've never used it. Ah, okay. Yeah, it was one of these modules for the screen. So yeah, I'm not too sure how that's gonna work. But I think for now I'm just gonna get rid of these lamps. Yeah, this should be ready to run. Looked like it was working when I flipped the switch earlier. So there we go. So yeah, if we take a look here, the wither skeleton skulls will give 150 RF per tick, and the bone blocks will give 120. So not too bad. And the way I'm actually pulling those items, I hooked it up over here. So for the bone blocks, I've got it set to export both bone meal and bone into this crafter. That's crafting these blocks. It puts it into a basic storage drawer that's fully upgraded. And it pulls from there into the chest. And so the main goal is just to get a huge backlog so that we have plenty of fuel, so that if all these decide to run out, we'll have something else going. So yeah, that should work pretty well. Alright, so I added a glass wall here, and I also put up a sign. Do not enter while machines are running. So hopefully nobody else will suffer the same fate I did. But yeah, I put full speed upgrades in each of them too. So that should definitely help out if we run out of power again. But it looked like they were toggling off and on since the power's pretty much full. And I don't really want to waste resources like that, so I'm probably not going to leave them running. But that'll be here in case of emergencies. So I went ahead and captured another couple of gas and bats, just so I could have some backup rings. You know, it really sucks to lose your flight if you die, and I just want to be prepared for that. There we go. So I also went ahead and set up an automatic loot bag opener, and it's kind of messy right now. I could condense it if I wanted. But basically I've got one filter that'll pull out all the stuff that we want, and the same filter on blacklist to get rid of the stuff that we don't want. And I had this set up so I could just quickly toggle these, and basically I would let this one fill up and then I'd empty it out when I had all the stuff I wanted. And there's all the filters right there. Yeah, it works really well. Currently we're only filtering the 5 primary ones. The pet bags and the artifact bags I'm not worried about. Or all the hermit ones. Yeah, I've had this going for quite a while and it's been handling it very well. No stuff getting backed up. Although I am noticing occasionally there's some floating heads around. Alright, well that's going to be it for this episode. But I do want to mention, since Vanilla Minecraft 1.12 is expected to release pretty much today, I'm probably going to be switching over and doing a playthrough of that. And so this could actually be the end of this series. We'll have to wait and see. But we're definitely very excited to be checking out some 1.12. And it's been a long time since I've done vanilla. As you see, most of what I do is not vanilla-like. So it's going to be interesting. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you next time.